the most important battles in history aren't the ones we hear about the most. In this video, we'll explore 10 crucial but often overlooked battles that shaped the modern world, from ancient Greece to World War II. Stay with me until the end of this video and see how many did you know. Our journey starts in the waters near Athens, more than 2,000 years ago. Battle of Salamis, 480 BCE. Few battles have saved an entire civilization in a single morning. In the early 5th century BCE, the Persian Empire stood as the most powerful force on earth. King Xerxes invaded Greece to bring the independent city-states under his rule. Athens was burned, morale collapsed, and defeat seemed certain. Greek commander Themistocles chose not to fight in open waters. Instead, he drew the Persian fleet into the narrow straits of Salamis, where size and numbers became a weakness. At dawn, Greek triremes surged forward, ramming and trapping Persian ships in the confined waters. Order quickly turned to chaos, and the Persian fleet began to fall apart. The invasion stalled, and Greece survived. Because of Salamis, Greek philosophy, political thought, and early democratic ideas were preserved, shaping the future of Western civilization. Battle of Gaugamela, 331 BCE. Few commanders have overturned history so completely with a single decision. In 331 BCE, Alexander the Great faced the Persian king Darius III on the plains of Gaugamela. The Persian army outnumbered him heavily and stretched across the battlefield, confident in its size and firepower. Alexander responded with precision rather than force. He slowly extended his right flank, drawing Persian cavalry out of position. When a gap opened in the enemy center, Alexander led his elite cavalry straight toward Darius. The sudden strike shattered Persian morale. Darius fled, and the army collapsed soon after. With Gaugamela, the Persian Empire effectively ended. Greek culture, language, and ideas spread across the Near East, shaping civilizations for centuries. Battle of Zama, 202 BCE. Rome and Carthage had fought for decades, but the war could only end one way. At Zama, in North Africa, the Roman general Scipio Africanus faced Hannibal, the most feared commander of his age. Hannibal relied on war elephants to break the Roman lines. Instead of resisting them directly, Roman legions opened wide corridors, allowing the elephants to pass through harmlessly. Once the charge failed, Roman infantry advanced in disciplined formation. Hannibal's exhausted army could not hold. Carthage was defeated. Zama made Rome the dominant power of the Mediterranean and laid the foundation for an empire whose laws, infrastructure, and institutions still influence the modern world. Battle of Ain Jalut, 1260 CE. For decades, the Mongol armies had never been stopped. By 1260, Mongol forces had devastated much of the Middle East and were advancing toward Egypt and the Mediterranean. Their momentum threatened Europe itself. At Ain Jalut, the Mamluk army used deception instead of brute force. A feigned retreat lured Mongol cavalry into a narrow valley. Hidden Mamluk units then struck from both sides. For the first time, a Mongol army suffered a decisive defeat. The victory halted Mongol expansion westward and preserved the political balance of the Middle East and Europe. Battle of Agincourt, 1415 CE. During the 100 Years' War, Henry V of England led a small, exhausted army across northern France. Near Agincourt, they encountered a much larger French force. Rain had turned the battlefield into deep mud. As the French advanced, their heavy armor slowed them, creating congestion. English longbowmen fired volleys of arrows into the approaching ranks. Unable to maneuver effectively, the French formation collapsed, and the English counterattacked. Agincourt demonstrated the decline of traditional knightly warfare and the rise of disciplined infantry and missile troops. It showed how technological and tactical changes were reshaping medieval battlefields. Battle of Vienna, 1683 CE. For centuries, the Ottoman Empire expanded into southeastern Europe. In 1683, they laid siege to Vienna, a critical gateway to the west. As the city neared collapse, a large coalition force, including Polish, Austrian, and German troops, assembled to break the siege. Led by King John III Sobieski of Poland, the Allied army launched a coordinated attack from the hills surrounding Vienna. The final blow came from a massive cavalry charge, including the famous Polish winged hussars. Their assault broke the Ottoman lines and ended the siege. The victory halted Ottoman expansion and fundamentally shifted power in Europe. From this point onward, the Ottomans entered a long period of decline while European states gained strength. Battle of Borodino, 1812 CE. In 1812, Napoleon invaded Russia with over 600,000 troops. The Russian army retreated steadily, avoiding major engagements until they reached Borodino, just west of Moscow. Here, both sides engaged in one of the bloodiest battles of the Napoleonic Wars. The Russians constructed several defensive redoubts, which the French attacked repeatedly. Though Napoleon technically won the field, the cost was enormous. His army was weakened beyond recovery. When he captured Moscow, he found it largely abandoned and burning. Unable to hold the city through the winter, he ordered a retreat, a disaster that destroyed his army. Borodino marked the beginning of Napoleon's decline and shifted European power once again. Battle of Moscow, 1941 to 1942. During World War II, Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, invading the Soviet Union. The early German advance was rapid and devastating. By late 1941, German forces were closing in on Moscow, but supply lines were overstretched, the weather turned harsh, and fresh Soviet troops arrived from the east. In December, the Soviets launched a counteroffensive, forcing the Germans away from the capital. This marked the first major German defeat of the war and signaled that the Eastern Front would become a prolonged and costly struggle. Second Battle of El Alamein, 1942. Meanwhile, in North Africa, control of the Suez Canal, a crucial route for British trade and military transport, hung in the balance. If Germany captured it, the British Empire would lose its vital link to India, the Middle East, and the wider world. At El Alamein, the British 8th Army under General Montgomery prepared a determined assault against Rommel's Afrika Korps. Minefields created deadly obstacles, but the British cleared lanes under heavy fire and pushed forward with armor and infantry. Rommel's forces, lacking supplies, were forced to withdraw. El Alamein ensured the Suez Canal remained under Allied control and marked the first significant Axis defeat on land. Battle of the Philippine Sea, 1944. In the Pacific Theater, Japan launched a major carrier-based assault to challenge American naval dominance. The United States, using advanced radar technology, detected incoming aircraft long before they arrived. American fighters intercepted wave after wave of Japanese planes. The overwhelming losses suffered by Japan led to the battle being nicknamed the Marianas Turkey Shoot. Japan's naval air arm was effectively destroyed. From that point onward, Japan could no longer contest US control of the Pacific.